So hello Lilian Eden, how are you?
I'm good. Nice to be here, Lilu, with you. I'm great. How are you?
Very, very good. So let me just recap a little bit what you're about for the people that don't know. You're actually an internationally recognized metaphysician and a medium, a psychic, and a spiritual counselor, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm involved with hypnosis as well, mediumship, um, psychic readings, and I'm sorry, but I hate that word already, and I'm going to try to come up with another name. I work with energy. Basically, I work with energy, as we all do in different ways.
So,
So,
so
yeah.
how is it different to be in life and working with energy? How is it different to regular day-to-day people? What do you see that we don't see?
Well, it's interesting. It's not like I see more than you or hear more than you or feel more than you. I believe we have five senses, and I also believe that some of us are have a heightened sense, and we're processing information on a different level. Okay, but to simplify this, I'm a bit more sensitive. Other people may be sensitive as well, but they don't know what to do with it. They're not aware of what it is that they have, which is a heightened sense. So they'll experience, addiction behavior. They'll try to escape, and they don't understand what it is. And I didn't understand for the longest time either, because I didn't. I knew what I knew, and I thought everyone else did. And then, I would say certain things, and that wasn't something that was promoted. Okay, I'm going to say it nicely. It wasn't promoted in the household. Coming from a background of lawyers and engineers and, matter of fact type of people, which I am as well. So basically, to answer your question, people, we all have it. We all have five senses, and we can heighten the senses. And I don't believe in a sixth sense. I just don't. In looking into energy and studying quantum physics, because that avenue gave me more answers than any of my degrees in any of the accredited universities. And I'm sorry, I enjoyed every class there, but it just didn't answer my question. As to where memory is stored and where do thoughts come from. So anyway, having said that, that's my path.
Yeah.
I indulged in it because I was more aware of the subtleties, and I recognized it in others, but they didn't recognize it. So to answer your question, every one of us is sensitive, especially the mothers out there will say, yes, I just know, that there's something wrong with my child, for example. Well, how do you just know?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Just know. You feel it. Or a good detective will say, I have a hunch. And then they go on it. And what happens? Well, where does that come from?
Mm-hmm.
A good businessman or woman will say, it's a certain, they'll maybe think about things and say, okay, we'll just take this, this idea will work. Well, how will it work? It will just work. Just trust me, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Because it has proven itself in the past. So what do you call that?
Uh-huh. So
Really?
so we all have that, but you're talking of a sensitivity, so it could be how can we know that we're actually different and we have that particular intuition or sensitivity to something?
Well,
Because
that's the
it's
thing.
something difficult to deal with for some people, isn't it?
Well, it isn't that unique. I'm sorry. It isn't that unique because we all have it. So if we all have it, again, we are spirit beings having a human experience. We're energy. We're made of energy. I like to pass along to people just to question things. I mean, some people are not destined or predestined to question such a factor, a variable in their lives. They know that they need to get up, they need to go to work, and they need to provide for a family, and they go on holidays, and be it for me to negate them, because that's what they're here for. They're processing information on a certain level, but are they using their intuition? Are they using their senses? Absolutely. So mediumship is a bit different than let's say a psychic reading. Okay, there's a little bit of a difference there, but this is the point for anyone out there who's wondering what my strongest ability is, or if I were to dive into psychic development or mediumship development. This is number one right now. If you listen to how people speak, if let's say I'm speaking with you and I say to you, "Oh, I understand what you're saying," that means more or less I'm a feeler type first and foremost. If someone says, "Oh, Lilian, I hear what you're saying," they're more hearing types. You see, their hearing is their greatest sense, if you will, initially when working with energy. If someone says, "Oh, I see what you're saying," they're more visual. So people use the language all the time, but because I go deeper into why we say what we say, psychology basically, I enjoyed it, the workings, and listening to people. Well, what is it all about? It's about energy.
Mm-hmm. So we do pick up on the energy of other people, and we do kind of know some things that we cannot even explain. Even if somebody says something, we feel something else.
Absolutely. Well, for example, if you're waiting in line for whatever reason, whether it's a grocery store, purchasing an event ticket, whatever it may be, or you're sitting at a restaurant enjoying a coffee or a tea, and you feel as if someone's staring at you. I'm sure we've all had that. And you look around and you indeed notice someone's looking at you. Well, where does that come from? It's energy. It's energy. And that's the thing. And one mission that I have is to simplify quantum physics and to simplify what I do and have others learn how to use or how to increase their sensitivity with amazing exercises that has to do with energy. Now, we can talk in theory, energy, but when I put you through certain processes, you're going to feel what I'm talking about, which is extraordinary. So anyway, having said that, we do remote viewing, for example. We do other exercises. And by the way, speaking of which, synchronistic event occurred, knowing that someone from France or someone from Europe is going to be contacting me. We did I was working with a group of people, and it was a remote viewing session. And what that is basically them stilling their minds and then have a flow of what comes to their mind with regards to. I had an envelope and a photo in there, nothing to do with France. It was another country and another destination. And I only told them that it's a particular place where people, internationally known. It's a place, and you will know of it. Maybe you haven't been there, visited this particular, I'm out of words, like an interest, the site. And that's all I said. So the exercise resumed. Every one of them noted Eiffel Tower for some reason. And they weren't sitting close to each other to copy each other. So what came through was Eiffel Tower. What I had in the envelope was Stonehenge. But funny enough, so all this stuff was coming in and they were all in awe, but you see why all 3 or 4 of them had Eiffel Tower on their sheets of paper. They weren't sitting next to each other. So where did that come from? So there was a whole bunch of stuff that I was thinking about the night before to put the Eiffel Tower in that envelope, but I didn't. Huh. So how does that work? Is that really a big coincidence? No. So this is one area of how this works, like energy, or let's say birds that flock together. They're not predispositioned. Are you there with me?
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
They're not, it's the energy flow. And once they take off, the energy becomes in sync. Okay. I don't know how else to put it to you. So basically we're working with energy and we're working with how we're processing energy. And I'm here to help people understand that. So then they won't feel like, oh, you're more special than me. How do you know? I'm here to say, I'd like to show you.
So what are
You know,
some simple exercises or something that we can test here with everyone?
okay, well, absolutely. You know how we talk about our soul, for example, or some people say our spirit body. That's one of the most basic exercises that I like to go over with people, because it'll allow them to experience what it is that we're discussing in terms of words, which is so limiting, obviously. You can try to wrap and process the information and take it in the way you understand it. But okay, so having said that, I could explain this to you. Maybe your viewers can try this on their own. Basically, if anyone out there meditates, again, you don't have to contort your body in some odd shape and hold your breath for half an hour. Basically, it's slowing down your thoughts and breathe and relax yourself from head to toe. This is really, really important because, like anything, when you're reading psychically, or you want to pick up additional information for yourself in any day, a given day, or you have a problem, what it is you just quiet your mind. It will never stop, but you have to. The best way to do it is to relax yourself from head to toe. Okay, so whatever and however you do it. Some people listen to rain CDs. Some people will listen to guided meditations. So what you do is you just relax yourself entirely. And then what I do with people is I have them envision a white light coming down. Okay, it doesn't have to be, but it's a healing. It's a very spiritual color, and it's part of the visualization as well. A technique that they need to practice on. But anyway, so having said that, you could do the white light or you don't have to do the white light. So let's say you're fully relaxed right now, and I ask, and you can ask yourself, which area of your body requires healing? Okay, which area of the body should I go to and heal? Okay, because we work with chakras, so we bring in color and so on. So anyway, your ego mind, your consciousness is relaxed now. So now what happens is your ego is still intact because you're relaxed and you're coherent. And let's say you choose a certain area of your body. Mm-hmm. Well, what happens with this particular, if you're doing it right and you're not in your head and you're relaxed and you ask, let me go to a certain part of my body, you will go to a certain part of your body, but your energy body, your spirit body, sometimes shows you a different location. For example, when I first did this exercise, I said to myself, and I was in England, I went to Arthur Findlay College. It's a school for mediums, mediumship. And
is it the same one where John Holland went to?
Yes, absolutely. Cool. Yeah, and we were meant to, we were doing this exercise, and I didn't know where this was going. So, and sometimes I don't like to share this the way I'm sharing it because it'll sort of spoil it for people because of the anticipation of what I'm saying. But let's say people go along with it and just relax and do exactly what I'm saying. It'll work. Mm-hmm. So anyway, when I was told to go to a certain part, I went to my stomach. And because I thought, I know I'm sensitive and I know, the chakra area and maybe, do some healing there. And all of a sudden my throat, it started to hurt. Not hurt where I'm, needing medical attention, but it was very, very odd. It was a strain. And I thought, well, that's strange. So I again focused on my stomach because I said, this is where it is. And absolutely not. It was here. And I just thought, oh my God, what is going on? So I was listening to the instructor, to the tutor. And after the fact, we did what we did. And what the viewers can do at home is, if you're not working with chakra, that's fine, and colors and so on. You just, obviously your spirit body is telling you where it is that you need to focus your attention on. And again, we're not medical doctors. It's just basically there's emotion. There's something that needs resolved. That's one thing that means. And then, of course, we came to, we lingered there for about 4 minutes, and I wrapped a color around it and so on. And then he brought us out of the meditation. And I would say about 95% of the people also had that sort of experience. They chose one area and another area began to show itself through feeling or through an itch or through your awareness is being shifted. Mm-hmm. That is an amazing exercise to feel your spirit body. So when we're talking about your soul or your spirit body, we're not talking about your ego self, because there's different levels of consciousness. So of course, every conscious level is needed. I need to pay my bills. I need to learn math. I need to learn how to read. So it comes in very handy. But it's overpowering, and it has become the only tool recognized in society. So that's another issue. Going back to your initial question, I mean, everyone has it, but we're designed by society, by our nurturing, if you will, to utilize one area, one conscious level. So there's a lot more going on. If you have a gut instinct about something, I say that's your spirit self speaking. And for those that are learning through psychic development programs or mediumship, they will understand. They understand that we are also of spirit. So you are speaking in mediumship, let's say, to the other side, energy that has passed on. Okay, energy. Your loved ones, let's say, their energy, and energy doesn't die. So what it is your, and then there's different bodies within ours, like the ethereal body, the auric field, and so on. But your spirit body is connecting. It's not your ego left brain connecting. So anyway, I can go on for another.
You love it. You're so passionate. No, that's great. So, but how can we, isn't there a way to protect ourselves, though, if we're sensitive to energies around us? And since the energy is coming down and people are feeling more and more things, is there some techniques to bubble ourselves or to clear our aura in the evening or in the morning? Is there some tricks that you have?
Well, amazing. There's really no tricks. Okay, let's say it's raining outside. What do? You put a raincoat on, or clothes to suit the outdoor weather, obviously. If it's snow, if it's sunny. Okay, so now we're dealing with a different language. We're dealing with a different concept, if you will. So we're protecting our physical body from our elements. Now what we're doing is we're working with energy. And what I've done with people is I'll say to them initially, I know this sounds out there, woo-woo, foo-foo, but it's real. Okay, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. We do the white light. Okay, it works. It's also, let's put it to you this way, I'm a born skeptic as well. And that's funny because I've had to prove and show and understand and experience myself in order to speak about it and indulge in this field, in this area with passion. But you're working with energy and you're working with another faculty. So really people say, well, I'm imagining this white light. Well, then imagine it. I'd like to say to people, for those that are really skeptical or for people that really think it's something that they can just write down and maybe learn and maybe just, show others or tell others about it, but they don't believe. I want to say to them, think about it this way. If you believe that it works, for the skeptics, because it does work. So fake it until you make it type of deal. So it's almost like having a good luck charm. People really believe in that good luck charm. And there's energy around that, but they don't understand that. So what we're saying is there's energy. But they'll say, this is my lucky charm. And we'll say, absolutely, great for you. Like they have to do a certain ritual before they do something. They believe that. Well, you can see it that way from the left brain, or you can see it from another point of view, which I'm trying to relate to people is it's very real energy. People have heard about the law of attraction already. People have heard about law of intent. Again, the intention is to protect yourself. So we do the white light, or I'll say to someone, if you know you're going to be in a meeting, let's say, and a business meeting, and there's going to be that one person that is not very good for yourself, for your energy, let's say, negative. And you're going to be speaking with that person afterwards. Or a party, let's say, you go to a party and you meet different people, and one person in particular, and you don't have good feelings about them. Oh, yeah. So what I do is, especially those that are very outright negative, is I put a mirror. I want like a mirror that I see the back of the mirror, and it's so fast because I visualize it. And they're looking at themselves in the mirror without knowing that they're looking at themselves in the mirror. And it's amazing what happens. They don't stay around too long. So I've just put it into practice. I've said to myself, well, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that. That sounds really cool. And then I did. I actually practiced these things. I'm like, wow. So now, of course, my brain works like really diving more deeper into it. Like, how did that work? The energy of this, and I drive myself nuts analyzing all the time, but it does work. So the one with the mirror effect outward,
nice,
and the white light. So you're protecting yourself. Just envision the white light around you. Oh, another one is too. Let's say you have a family member or friend, or family members are good because everybody has someone that, yeah, okay, so need I say more, right? So, what I like to do is I just like to white light them, in my mind's eye. I like to, or even green. Green's a very healing color, so just green. I mean, their personalities are personality. The energy that they came into this lifetime with is such. It's just vibrating differently than mine. And that's all it is. Again, I'm talking about energy here, okay? So it's not like, but that helps. It's like a shield, and you don't want to promote anger or negativity or be on guard with that person, because you're bringing more of that which you don't want to you because you're thinking about it. Law of attraction again. Okay, so really there's so many angles you can take with this, but looking at the person and white light them.
Cool.
So you're focusing on the positive.
Wonderful. Well, there's so many questions I have, but we're running out of time. But so I feel like we'll have to do this again.
Yes.
Is there like, for instance, right now, could you tune in and see something, or how does this work?
Well, basically right now I'm using my left brain with you, right? I'm speaking with you. I'm rationalizing. I'm in my thinking head. So what has to happen is, before I prepare for readings with clients, is I defocus, I meditate, okay? And that's quieting the mind. And I quiet every cell, every muscle. And it depends. If it's a psychic reading, it works differently than a mediumistic reading. Okay, psychic reading is I'm tuning in, I'm a radio, I'm tuning into your energy. Okay, so I quiet myself. And then I trust, big word for people out there, trust what I'm receiving. Okay, so I set it up with my higher self, and let's say I'm reading for you, Lilu. I would say, okay, and with part of my meditation work is I would say your name, that I'm working with you, and if there's spirit guides around you that wish to come in and communicate with me. So I'm just opening the channel. Okay, all in my mind. It's all in my mind's eye, not in my head, not in my thinking head. That's a processing center. It's another level that I go to. And so then that's how it starts. And then I just go with my impressions. It's feel, I see, I hear.
Cool.
And for mediumship, though, it's different. I'm not working it. I get information. So for people out there that are wondering what's the difference between psychic readings and mediumistic readings, well, mediumistic readings, after a lot of psychic readings, a lot of my energy goes out. My aura's out. I'm just gathering information from the others, if you will. With mediumship and with speaking with your loved ones who've crossed over, they're coming in and giving it to me. It's like a movie appears, or I see images, or I'll hear things. But I'm rejuvenated actually after the fact because I'm not sensing, I'm not going out there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I had a couple of psychic or mediums that I've interviewed, and sometimes some of them were able to tune in directly. So it's interesting that, yeah, you need to take the time, and it makes sense. It makes sense. I
Yeah.
wish we could test it right now, and you could.
I hope next time we could do a whole bunch
Yeah.
of stuff. Let's do it. Yeah.
Because I think it's important to show also what it is like, because a lot of us are scared or or wondering what it is, and this helps to demystify, I think, once you see how it really happens during a session. So
Absolutely. And you know what? I also want to say to people who have been with me, have taken psychic development with me, or anyone who's interested in maybe empowering themselves, because like I really want to leave with this note. I'm no different than you. And we can all say, oh, we've all done something in the past, let's say, or let's say everyone who's listening. You've done something, and afterwards you go, oh, geez, I knew I shouldn't have done that, and I knew I shouldn't have done that. The hindsight thing, whatever it is that you did or proceeded to do. That trust in yourself is a big one. I don't care if you're not going to be doing psychic development, if you've never had an interest to pursue it, you're just living your life, listening to interviews such as this one, that's fine, gathering some information, maybe becoming a bit more enlightened, wherever you are in your journey and wherever you're supposed to go in this lifetime. I'm just saying to you, trust yourself. Trust what you're receiving. That is honestly, Lilu, half the battle. Because if you don't trust yourself, and quiet yourself, ask a question, and wait and see what comes to mind. Because your spirit body, within your body, physical body, okay, I'm going to say it's the energy body, is helping you. Mm-hmm. That's the real you. And your energy body is connected to your family that's passed over, to guys that are guiding you. They can't control you, but you're working alongside with them, and the information is always in flow. You will always have the answers. If you just quiet that mind that says, I have to do, I should do, I got to do, all the do's, I have to, and run. Give yourself just that little time to go in, and the answer will come. And trust what you get. That's part, really, more than half the battle.
And what you say is that once we do that, we start really discovering our potential.
Oh, absolutely. How exciting is that? Once you start tuning into yourself, and then you start seeing things unfold, or you'll feel the difference. I don't know how else to explain it. Or for those that are more visual, more visual, the creative juices will flow. More synchronistic events will occur because you are listening to yourself. And you will then, once you begin listening to yourself, what will open up is other areas that you will be more aware of. It's like your faculties are opening up almost naturally, because I think it's unnatural not to be that way in our society. I love our society. I love, there's good and bad and in between. But we've been taken away from that. Mm-hmm. What is that? Listening to ourselves. Because many people are saying, well, I'm not good enough, or they have low self-esteem, or whatever the issue is in this world, through school, through whatever experiences people have had. And now it's undoing all that talk, all that other stuff that you're really not. You've got it all. Mm-hmm. Every one of us, we do. We could do it another time. I could absolutely. I'll read for you, and we could.
I love this. I love this final part. That's my favorite part of the interview. Thank you. Thank you, Lilian.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Sounded